live. Okay, so today's notes are pretty easy. It's called Compound Inequalities. Today's date, 9/27. Compound Inequalities. All right. So when you see compound, it's basically having two signs in the statement. Two signs, and I'm going to go ahead and like highlight that, two of them. So we're either going to have a greater than, or less than, or maybe both, So it's going to have both. So it's going to have both signs, either those or maybe that. So in a sense, we've got two equations. In a sense, two equations. And Mars, that's what you were asking about, is how do we solve? And I'm going to show you how we solve, okay? We're going to basically do it like two equations. So example one, I should say one, some number, call it x, call it n, is less than 10 and greater than or equal to 4, okay? So what's the number? So we got some number. So we get some number is going to be less than 10, and it's going to be greater than or equal to 4, okay? Draw a number line. Can put 4 down, put 10 down, right? It can't equal 10. It doesn't say it equals 10, right? It's just less than 10, so I'm going to put an open circle at 10, because it can't equal 10. But it can equal 4, because it's going to be either greater than or equal to 4, so solid dot, right? And so I'm thinking about, okay, what are the numbers? Well, 5 will work, right? 5 works. 5's bigger than 4, but less than 10, right? 6 will work. 7's going to work. 8's going to work. 9's going to work. 9.5 will work. 4.2 should work. 7.31 should work, right? So the reason we use like the number line is because 8.413 will work, right? 6.73598, I don't know, whatever it is. And so when we use this in shade, we're talking about every possible number, right? There's a lot of numbers in between there, aren't there? Decimals and fractions and all that, okay? Now write a compound inequality, okay? So 4 is the smallest number, right? 10's the biggest. I'm going to go 4 and 10, okay? I'm just going to do that. Smallest number, I'm going to put n, my number in between. And I know if I read it backwards that it's greater than or equal to 4. If I read it backwards, right? And it's less than 10. If I go back to my journal, we did this on purpose. Of course we did this on purpose. Go back to my journal, and if they were like shaded like this, look how this is what Bailey saw. See how the arrows always point that way? If you're shading in between, there it is. The arrows are pointing to the left, okay? It's an and statement. Okay, example 2. A number is greater than or equal to 6. Okay, number is greater than or equal to 6. Or it's less than 2. Okay, let's do a number line. Okay, here's my 2. There's my 6, right? Okay, it's going to be greater than or equal to 6. Okay, so let me go ahead and put greater than or equal. That goes that way, doesn't it? All right. Less than 2. So if I say, what's the number? Well, this is a little bit confusing because the number's got to be, there is not one specific number, because it's either going to be over here or can't be both, right? Can't be both. You guys agree? I mean, it can't be bigger than 6 and less than 2. Okay, I'll say it again. Cannot be. We're smart enough. We're smart enough. It is impossible for it to be bigger than 6 and less than 2. Everybody get that?
Yeah.
So I'll say it's either one or the other. And that's why this is called an or statement. Okay, it's called an or statement. It can't be both. So it's an or statement. It's got to be either bigger than 6 or, and so we call this an or statement. This one's called an and statement because it can be greater than 4 and less than 10. Compound equality. Mars, I'm totally okay with this. N is less than 2 or N is greater than or equal to 6. Okay, if you like the or part, if you like to write the or, go ahead. It's completely correct. I like to write it like this because it says the same thing. Okay, N is less than 2 or N is greater than or equal to 6. How am I doing? Okay, thumbs up. And it is called compound because we've got two signs. I don't have one equal sign. I got two, don't I? I don't have one greater than sign. I got two of them, right? I got two, which makes it a compound. Okay. Right now, let's go ahead and turn the page. Oh no, I haven't done a number line. No, I've done the line. Turn the page. Okay. All right, now 3. Solve and graph this inequality. All right, well, I'm going to put a number line down. I'm going to go -4, 0. You don't have to have the 0. I just like to have 0 in there as a reference. Read the x first. Read the x first. Okay, I'll say it again. Read the x first. Okay, boom. Cover it up. Read the x first. What does it say? X is what?
Greater than -4.
So it goes that direction, correct? Read the x first. What's it say?
X is less than or equal to
So it's going to be in between. You guys agree? Easy. Oh, I'm going to go. Open circle, right? Closed circle. All right. Mars, here's the question you asked. So, if there's got to be 2 equations, let's write 2 equations. So, write 2 equations. I'm going to highlight that. Write 2 equations, okay? First equation is going to be -3 is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. There's my first equation right there. My first equation. And my second equation is going to be my 2x plus 1 is less than 9. Because we have to solve for x, right? We've got to solve for x. So I need to write 2 equations, but I have that 2x plus 1 in both of them so I can solve it. Now, twice the work. It's okay, I can do it. Seriously, twice the work, but I can do it. I'm not afraid of this problem. So, for the first part, let's just ignore this one. Just ignore it. I'm not going to do this one right now because, let's just solve this one, okay? So, same thing. -1, -1. -4 is less than or equal to 2x. Divide by 2, divide by 2. I've got x is greater than or equal to -2, okay? Now let's look at the other side. Do the same thing. -1, -1. I get a 2x is less than 8. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X is less than 4. Okay? So I actually have 2 answers. If I want to put it on a number line, which I will, I'll put my -2 here and my 4 here. Okay? So I've solved them both. I went through one, +1, +1, okay. -1, -1, divide by 2, and I got one answer, right? I went -1, -1, 8, divide by 2, okay. So then I put both of them on the number line. You get 2 on the number line, and 4 on the number line. Okay, so let's read it. This says x is, read it backwards, x is what? Read x first, x is greater than or equal to greater, right? So to be greater than -2, I'm going to go this way, right? What's this one say? X is
less than 4.
So shade in between, you agree? Yeah, shade in between. So let's shade in between. I do that. I've got a closed circle at -2 because it does equal. I have an open circle at the 4 and a shade in between, okay? Now as a compound statement, I'm going to write it like this because this is not wrong. And you could put this and this, but I really like to write it like this. That's the way I like to write it. If you put this on a test, I would not mark it wrong, okay? Does that make sense? If you put both of these, I'm not going to mark it wrong because these are correct, okay? All right, thumbs up. So again, if it's shading in between, I like to write like this, okay? So example 5, okay? What I have is, I see this or, but I see two different parts, okay? So let's solve. Let's solve two equations, okay? So I'm just going to put a line down here in the middle of that so I can separate my two equations. And I'm going to go first, plus 5 plus 5. I'll have a 3y is less than or equal to negative 3. I'll divide by divide by 3, and I'll have x is less than or equal to y. Thank you, negative 1. Or I'll come over here and solve the other one. Plus 1, 2y is greater than or equal to 6. I'll divide by 2, and I have y is greater than or equal to 2. All right, so if I put it on a number line, sometimes it's easy to see. 3, golly.
It's 3, not 2.
Oh, good golly. Yeah, it's Monday, huh? Wow. Better wake up, huh? Thanks, guys. Put a 0 in here, right about there. Okay, so I see it's got to be less than or equal to negative 1. Well, that goes this way, right? Or greater than or equal to 3 goes that way, okay? Now, if you want to leave, the book likes that. I don't, but that's the way the book likes it. That's fine. I like to rewrite it like this. Negative 1. Because it says the same thing. If you read y first, it really says y is less than or equal to negative 1, yeah, or y is greater than or equal to 3, okay? How's that? And the last example is actually pretty easy. Okay, buy a new refrigerator. And I know this is like my house. We've got a space for the refrigerator to slide in, right? And if you buy too big a refrigerator, then you got to take it back, and that's a bummer, right? If you buy too small a refrigerator, then you kind of gave up your space. You could add a bigger one, right? Or you just like, why buy a little refrigerator when you get a big one, right? So here's what I know: my refrigerator can be in between 42 inches and 36. So this is a matter of whether or not you guys think. We'll go R for refrigerator, and I want 36, don't I? 36 refrigerator and 42. Okay, this is not a wrong answer. If you want to put equal signs, it's a really tight fit. I don't think I'd make it equal. If it was exactly equal, it really fit. You gotta shove it in there, right? Maybe scrape up your walls. And if you put equals, I'll take it, right? I'm going to leave it not equal to, because then you have space to slide in. How's that sound, okay? All right, thumbs up. Was that pretty easy? Okay, do you guys need a little bit of a break right now?
Yes.
Okay, so let's real quickly, let's go outside. You want to play 21?